smoothie here.
Oh, so jelly. I don't know why I'm jealous. I mean, I've ate like a fucking pig the past like 4 days. It's one of those things where we're in a tourist town. It's, it's pig out time. And
especially for like a graduation. What else are you gonna do? Yeah, celebrate. Bring another cake.
It was actually really fucking funny because like with the school he goes to, it's really cool. It's one of those things where it's like, it's a live-in school, but it's like a live-in school in the fact that like you have to farm. There is a farm there that provides food.
Oh, cool.
You have to make the chickens from live chickens to food yourself.
Right.
Like, it's one of those types of places. Like, the school is fucking cool, and like it's literally right next to Lake Placid, so it's got all of the Lake Placid like touristy traps in there as well.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where we just walking around. It's like, yep, okay, let's go to this steakhouse. Yeah. Had probably the best steak I've ever fucking had in my life.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big steak person. It's probably like the fourth. So
yeah,
I was like, no, this is a good steak. I give it to like everyone at the table. They were like, oh yeah, that's a really fucking good steak. And then the best part was, because it's like a boarding school, there's one of the girls in his class lives nearby. So she was having a party and it turned into a sleepover party. So it was like, well, we're here to celebrate his graduation and now he's fucked off and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so let's figure out some stuff to do.
Let's go for another steak dinner. Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking ice cream, fucking cookies. I've got a bag full of shit in the other room that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like Halloween.
Oh, and also, because I can't go anywhere without buying a mug.
Yeah, nice. That's a nice mug.
They were in the rooms, and it's like, these are $10 down at the front desk. If you steal it, we will charge you 15.
Ah, crap. 10 it is.
Yep, exactly.
Alright, you ready to kick this thing off?
Alright,
starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Binding of Moonpir Boston Rebirth as we continue our journey deeper into the basement. I am your host, Boston. My traveling companion, as always, is Moonpir.
Perfect timing for Skype to mess up. It's like, my traveling companion is frozen.
My very delayed Skype companion is Moonpir.
Your fetal protection.
Yes, exactly.
We could go so gross, but we won't.
Instead, let's talk about what you've been doing in the basement this week.
This week, due to real life circumstances, we shall call them.
Boo!
I was unfortunately limited in my available time. So as such, I did a couple of greed runs. I actually got really mad because I did a greed run with Isaac. I got to super ultra greed. tweet. Yeah, I got to super greed with Isaac, and I had like 45 coins. Second time I've ever made it to super greed with Isaac. I beat super greed. I stuck 2 coins in, and it jammed.
No, what was your jam chance?
2%.
Of course it was. Son of a.
2%. I had like 40 coins, something like that, and it jams after 2.
The worst is when you have that many coins and you have a 2 of diamonds, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get as many coins as I can. I'm gonna wait until I'm done with the boss. I'm gonna double it. You toss 1 in and it jams, and you're like, I swear to God.
It's definitely been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
I did do a couple of hard runs, but nothing really worth speaking of on those. As we discussed during the week on Twitter, if you follow Boston and myself, I did the dailies up to Friday, I think it was.
Yes, yeah.
So at Friday's point, that was 4 dailies, and it was 3-1, which I was very angry on one of those days because I literally missed the boss rush by like 3 seconds.
Oh.
I paused the game after it didn't appear. I literally paused the game, put the controller down and walked away because I was so annoyed. And then I think that was the Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday I missed it by like 2 minutes. So I was like, no, it's an It Lives run. Let's go and see if I can get to Hush.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I got to Hush, and I beat Hush, and
nice.
You had a terrible run that day apparently.
Yeah. Man.
Oh, but yes, shall we talk about Mondays, the Memorial Day event?
Was this the blindfold and many friends?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun run.
Ghost Boy, as I've taken to calling him.
Oh yeah, it was the Lost. I forgot. Yeah.
Yes, with pretty much one of most of the companions that you can get.
Yeah, I think it was. Actually all of the familiars that look the same. So it was all the ones like you have a demon baby. You had the
parasite baby
one.
Was there.
Yeah, you had rotten baby, dry baby. I guess it's just all the babies.
Yeah, I was actually really proud of myself on that because I'm not good with Ghost Boy. Casper does not treat me well, despite how good his mattresses are.
Yeah.
You've seen the runs I've done with him. It's always in the 200s, and I always die on the first floor.
Yeah.
But for the first time with him, I actually managed to make it, a decent distance in. I got a couple of thousand on the board, and I knew I wasn't going to beat you, but my point on that day was, I'm actually making progress. I'm actually doing better with the character I haven't unlocked yet.
Yeah. Well, the thing about playing as the Lost in Dailies is it's sort of unfortunate because when you unlock the Lost, he doesn't really start with anything. And the first thing you unlock with him is he starts with Holy Mantle. So you can always take that one hit before he's vulnerable. But once you unlock everything for the Lost, he also starts with the D4. So if you haven't unlocked that natural progression, you start as the Lost and on the Daily, and you're like, D4, great, I'll just use that. And it re-rolls Holy Mantle, so you lose your protection right off the bat. So, stupid D4.
Which was the mistake I made the very first time I played with him on the dailies. I was like, ooh, what does the D4 do? Let's do it. Get hit. Die.
Whoops. It's all about learning lessons.
Yeah, that pretty much sums that up. But yeah, unfortunately, like as I said, not a whole lot of time this week.
Yeah.
You'll see that or you will already know that if you've listened to this week's episode of TVGP.
Yeah.
With how tiny little miniature my section's going to be.
You actually missed two interesting runs. The Saturday run was I think it was Blue Baby in a normal mode to Mom. That wasn't super interesting. Once you got past the first boss, it actually got pretty easy. Or it was Judas. One of the two of them. The one from today, Sunday, was actually an Isaac run, normal mode to Mega Satan. Man, once you got past a couple of floors, you were nearly unstoppable. I made it all the way down to Mega Satan. I finished the last 3 floors on one Spirit Heart, and I couldn't get any more health. I cleared out the Dark Room completely on one Spirit Heart, and I'm riding the razor's edge here. And I was like, well, I can't get any more health no matter what, so I have to go fight Mega Satan with one Spirit Heart. Thankfully I had shielded tears, so I had a little bit of a chance. I made it all the way to the wave where he spawns the Dark Angels, and I died at that point.
Yeah. Have you posted that score up on Twitter yet? Because I might actually do today's run.
I did, yes.
After the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I might give that a shot then. I might see how I do on that.
Yeah,
but we discussed it on Twitter.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I missed Hush on that run, so if you can do I was moving super slowly. The thing that always bites me is the D6. Because I say, I walk into this room and I see my reflection. There's no way in hell I'm picking that up. I'll re-roll it. It re-rolls into something else. And it's like, well, I don't want that either. But
I could clear 6 rooms.
But 7 rooms back, I have a battery. I'm going to run back there. I'm going to pick up the battery. I'm going to re-roll it. Well, that's garbage too. All right, I can clear out a couple more rooms. And next thing you know, I'm spending 5 minutes on a floor and just oh, God, I got to go.
Yes. Yeah, that's my big issue with the Isaac runs is I always do the exact same thing. If they know I can get better than that, I will do better than that. Yeah. But the thing which we were discussing on Twitter, it kind of caught my attention because, like I said, unfortunately, literally we've discussed pretty much everything I've been able to do this week.
Right.
But the thing that we wanted to roll to was on Friday's run, you mentioned how you think you missed the shovel somewhere. Now, I've always taken the shovel for granted. Okay, I can skip a floor, whoop-de-doo. I hate that. So I'm curious as to why it was so important on that run.
So the thing about daily runs is, let's say that you have a run that's going to Mom. If you find the shovel beforehand, the thing about a daily run is it doesn't end at the goal. So what you can do is, once you beat Mom, and let's say you beat Boss Rush 2, as soon as you're done with that, before you pick up, instead of picking up the trophy, you use the shovel, you go down to the next floor. You can go all the way down to shovel. Instead of, so you're like 3 or 4 floors past where the run ended. So instead of getting like 15,000 points, you can get 25,000.
Okay, because I've always ignored the shovel on dailies because I hate the shovel.
Well, it seems like a dumb item. It's like, great, I can skip this floor. Why would I want to skip an item room, a shop, a X, Y, and Z? You know, like, this is all good stuff I want.
Yeah, a boss reward item.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything else. Say a devil/angel room.
Right.
Like, this is everything that you're skipping, so I just never use it. But no, that makes a lot more sense because I have seen it on dailies and I just ignored it and not bothered with it before.
I'm gonna look it up too. I think it can uncover crawl spaces too. Let me look.
I've definitely had one of them with a shovel before.
Yeah, it Yeah, it can. It can actually spawn black markets too. So, yeah, the thing about the shovel is you sort of want to use it constantly so you can try and get, one, a crawl space, and hopefully you'll get an item out of it. But two, optimally, you want to get a black market so you can sort of clean house on that thing. So, I don't know if you've gotten a black market before.
I've never been to the black market before.
Okay.
No.
So, black market is when you get one of those crawl spaces. You know how they look like the Zelda 2 side-scrolling thing, and there's usually like a ladder down or ladder up and an item or a coin or something. What'll happen is there'll be a ladder down and a ladder that goes off screen, and basically you'll have a choice of like 6 deal with the devil items, and there'll be 3 or 4 beggars and all this stuff, and then a trapdoor down in the next floor.
Interesting.
That's really powerful as the Lost, because the Lost can take devil deal items for free.
Oh yes, this is actually something that I figured out during this week's on Monday's daily run.
Right. Because
I got the devil room, and then my instant reaction was, well, I don't have any hearts, so I can't take it. But wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's if I die, I die. Let's just
it's all in the name of science.
And yes, exactly. And then I actually ended up with the devil deals from that room, so I was perfectly happy with that. But yeah, that's actually something I only figured out on Monday.
Yeah, have you run into, actually speaking of black markets, have you run into rooms that are Isaac's room where it has a bed and a rug on the middle?
Yes, I've run into it occasionally. I know the bed it's a 2-key door usually.
Yeah.
I know the bed restores you to full health, I believe, and yes, I did find out accidentally about the blowing up the rug. Usually takes you to a crawl space. Yeah,
there's actually 2 rooms. There's a clean Isaac room, and then there's a dirty Isaac room. The clean one, if you bomb the rug, will bring you to a crawl space. The dirty one will give you just a trapdoor, so it'll just take you to the next floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I've learned to tell the difference between the two, because the crawl space has the ladder in the image.
Yep.
Whereas the trapdoor does not.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting into some deep Isaac strats here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Learning the difference between 2 little images.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't unlocked whatever it is that looks like the cursed eye. I still don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a trinket. It's called, like Mom's Pearl or something.
Oh, yeah, I've unlocked that.
Yeah.
Is that good?
I never remember what it does. Let's look. there are a couple of there are a couple of trinkets that I really remember because I love them, and there's a couple of trinkets where I'm like, man, I don't know what this thing does at all. Grants a secondary chance of any non-specific heart drop turning into a spirit heart. Okay. So any red heart could turn into a spirit heart. That's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It reminds me a little bit of the forked tail. That I think does the same thing, but for black hearts. Like it turns.
Yeah.
It's got a really high chance of turning red hearts into black hearts.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite items. That little forked tail.
Yeah, that's one I never remember until I pick it up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this one's actually good. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually all we have this week. We got sort of a shorter episode, but real life takes over instead of Isaac every once in a while. So.
Yep. The timing is perfect in my life. It's like it's not that I'm trying to move, and there's graduations to go to, and everything else that's going on.
No big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Moonpir, for joining me yet again for another journey into the basement.
Thank you for taking me to your heart room.
And we'll see everyone next week.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching the video. We gotta go. Bye.